I want to welcome you all to the 25th week after Pentecost. It's Tuesday, November the 12th, 2024. This is the Manna at the Tap podcast where we actively seek the spiritual nourishment our souls crave. The daily lectionary reading we explore together is the manna designed to nurture our spiritual growth and provide the sustenance our souls need. I'm Gloria, your fellow traveler on this spiritual journey, and together we share insights and interpretations from these readings that enrich our spiritual lives. The lectionary text takes us back to the book of Genesis, the book of beginnings. Abraham is coming to the end of his life's journey, and it is now Isaac's turn to continue the journey of covenant posterity. But he has no wife and no children. Sarah, Isaac's mother, is now dead, and Abraham has buried her in a cave in the field of Machpelah, which is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. After Abraham's journey from his homeland to the land God promised him, this is the first purchase of land he has made. It is a burial site for Sarah, and it will be for all the patriarchs and their wives who will come after her. But the promise of posterity can only be carried on in the land of the living. Abraham has made two decisions for Isaac. He called his senior servant and made him swear that he would not choose a wife from Isaac from among the daughters of the Canaanites, even though Abraham had been living among the Canaanites for many years. And his servant was never to take Isaac to the country Abraham left. Instead, the servant was to journey there to find Isaac a wife from among Abraham's relatives. The lectionary reading for today is Genesis 24, verses 11 to 27. After swearing an oath to Abraham, the servant readied himself and loaded a large and impressive caravan, displaying Abraham's wealth as he journeyed to Nahor, the place Abraham left many years earlier when his father and his brother died. The journey ahead for the servant would have been about 1,500 kilometers and may have taken up to a month. When he arrived in the evening outside the town with tired and thirsty camels, he had them kneel. He also knelt to pray to the Lord, the God of his master Abraham. His prayer was twofold. A young woman would offer water to his camels, and that she would be chosen as Isaac's wife. The servant wanted a woman of character, one who would show kindness. There's that word again, hesed. As the servant barely finished praying, a beautiful young woman came out of the town with a jar on her shoulder. The servant ran to her, asking for a drink of water for himself. As he was drinking, she offered to give water to the camels. The servant was in awe as he watched the beautiful young woman care for the camels. He was sure the Lord had made his journey successful. While the beautiful young woman ran back and forth to the well to draw water for the camels, the servant was assessing her family's worth and wondered whether the Lord had made his journey successful. he rewarded the beautiful young woman with gifts of gold, a sign of his master Abraham's wealth. But he still needed to know more to determine if she was the answer to his prayer. He asked about her family, and when he discovered she was related to Abraham's family, he praised God. He then asked the young woman about her family and whether there was a room in her home with a bed and breakfast where he could spend the night. She added that they also had plenty of straw and fodder for the camels. The servant followed her to the home of Abraham's family. But will the beautiful young woman be willing to follow him to be the wife of Isaac? The lectionary reading tomorrow, Genesis 24, 28 to 42, will answer the question. But before leaving the lectionary reading today, there are a number of observations for us to consider. The senior servant is not named in our lectionary text, but in Genesis chapter 15, when the Lord came to Abram in a vision, he told him not to be afraid. Abram, not Abraham, Abram was concerned about being childless and having to leave his estate to Eliezer of Damascus, his senior servant. The Lord assured Abram that he would not be, and that Abram would have his own son who would be his heir. You see, Eliezer was a Canaanite, but he had embraced the God of Abraham. And as he journeyed, and as he began his unknown journey, he opened the scene with prayer. He entrusted his journey to the Lord and asked that it be successful and that the Lord show kindness or hesed to his master Abraham. Eliezer is a faithful and loyal servant who has found the Lord fully trustworthy. The servant bowed down and responded with a doxology when he realized that this young woman, this beautiful young woman, was part of Abraham's family. And here is his prayer in a doxology. Praise be to the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not abandoned his kindness, hesed, and faithfulness to Abraham.